What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Top 5 Central. Criminals are typically in the position they are for a lot of reasons, but when it comes to Black Friday shoppers, I think we can all agree that we see the worst in everyone when it comes to grabbing those TVs off the shelf. And in some cases, people tend to forget that stores have cameras, so today we're looking at the top 5 craziest Black Friday crimes caught on camera. Also, let's see if we can smash 5,000 likes on this video, but with that said, let's get straight into it. Number 5, pepper spray attack. So when people go shopping on Black Friday, they kind of expect it to be crazy, but this happened a whole day before. So shoppers had absolutely no warning before things went insane. Basically, a display full of Xbox games and DVDs were unveiled to prepare for Black Friday, but people decided to get in on the deals early and ended up swarming them. There was a huge crush of people and one woman had enough, so what did she do? Well, for some reason, she thought pepper spraying the crowd was the answer. That's right, she literally maced everyone who was close to her, which ended with about 20 people breathing in it and not being able to see very well. Not only this, but she wasn't even caught afterwards because she disappeared into the crowd and managed to escape without being seen. Maybe she was scared of being crushed in the crowd, but she could have just been trying to get at the DVDs before anyone else, so it's kind of hard to know what was going on. Either way, it's not exactly the best way to get people to let you pass. I mean, she could have just asked.
And Sabila, you know, LAPD officers out of the Devonshire Division are currently looking at the video that we obtained. This incident happened here inside this Walmart at Porter Ranch. Right now, everything is quiet, but you can imagine the terrifying moment. Take a look at the video that CBS 2 News obtained from a customer's cell phone. That person happened to be inside and captured the moments that unfolded just about 10 o'clock last night, Thanksgiving night. Now, we're told it was inside the store when a display of Xbox games and DVDs were unveiled for Black Friday. That's when a disgruntled female shopper allegedly shot pepper spray at about 20 people who were treated here at the scene. None of them, fortunately, had to go to the hospital, but many complained of stinging eyes and others said they inhaled the spray. Now, police have not been able to locate the woman with the pepper spray. Officers are actively looking for her. The investigation continues, and here's what the man who captured this video had to tell us this morning.
Number 4, Black Friday shoppers shoot each other dead in Toys R Us? When you think about people being shot to death in public, there's a lot of places where you can probably imagine it happening, but Toys R Us just isn't one of them. I mean, it's a toy store completely aimed at kids, so you'd think that it would be a super friendly and happy place all year round. With that said, Christmas shopping must have gotten a bit too intense for 2 men inside the store, and pretty soon their argument ended in a full-on fight. Not just that, but soon even their fists weren't good enough, and they ended up full-on shooting each other. I have no idea why you would take a gun to a toy shop anyway, and clearly most of the shoppers in there at the time agreed because they just couldn't figure out what was going on. Even the police were confused about what could have caused such a deadly disagreement. After all, there's nothing to really argue over except for dolls, computer games, maybe some action figures, and some toys.
Breaking news, frightening moments inside a Toys R Us store in Palm Desert. 2 people are shot and killed on one of the busiest shopping days of the year. Good evening, I'm Ellen Leva in for Michelle Tuzzi.
I'm Mark Brown. This is Eyewitness News at 5, and we begin with that breaking story. Police say the deadly shooting involved 2 men who got into an argument, then a fight with each other inside the store. Dozens of shoppers watched in horror as they ran for the exits. Our Inland Empire Bureau Chief Bob Banfield is live in Palm Desert, about 120 miles east of L.A.
This afternoon, Toys R Us officials issued this statement, said we are outraged by the act of violence that occurred in Palm Desert and by the fact that anyone would compromise the safety and security of our customers and employees. We're working closely with local law enforcement on the specific details.
Number 3, Walmart worker killed during 5 a.m. store opening stampede. So I understand that queuing up all night for a sale can be insanely stressful, and by the end of it, you're just excited to get inside. But being too enthusiastic can actually be deadly. I mean, the crowd of people were so eager in this case to get into this Walmart that they actually smashed the glass of the doors as they were coming in and created a stampede so bad that it ended up being lethal. Basically, a store clerk that was standing at the front of the store was actually caught in the crush and fell, but instead of helping him, people literally trampled all over him. Not Not just that, but a pregnant woman was knocked to the ground in the same stampede, and even though thankfully she was okay, witnesses said that the baby wasn't. Apart from that, around 4 other people were badly hurt in the crush, all from people paying more attention to getting into the store than anything else. Honestly, I don't know how you'd go about stopping this from happening, except maybe making customers go through a tunnel so that they can only walk one at a time in single file.
We're following breaking news from Long Island, New York, and on this day when so many Americans go out and shop, Black Friday bargain hunting trip has turned deadly. Early this morning, a local Walmart opened its doors at 5 a.m. to a crush of holiday shoppers. And witnesses say a man was trampled to death. WNBC's Tracy Strahan joins us live from Valley Stream, New York. What happened here, Tracy?
Well, Contessa, good morning to you. We're at Green Acres Mall, and the Walmart where this happened actually remains closed to the public. The potential shoppers being rerouted away from the scene, all as investigators try to piece together, but what all accounts is being labeled as a stampede. Now, we have new details from Nassau County Police. They tell us a 34-year-old overnight store clerk was knocked to the ground by that crush of people you described after the overly eager crowd pushed through the doors right around 5 o'clock this morning. We even saw some broken glass.
Number 2, man dies on Black Friday. So the holidays are supposed to be all about people helping each other, but it's obvious that the people in this store just didn't get the message. Basically, an older man collapsed just after midnight while he was shopping, but instead of stopping to help people, chose to just walk around him. Not just that, but some people were so obsessed with getting a bargain that they actually stepped over his body without checking to see if he was okay or even alive. Even Target employees didn't do anything apart from call 911, but that was mostly because company police said they weren't allowed to touch him or move him out of harm's way. Thankfully, there was a nurse and a paramedic shopping there too, and they ended up finding him and doing what they could. But even by that point, even CPR couldn't do anything to revive him. This is really upsetting and extra sad because his family said that he was the kind of person to stop what he was doing to help people no matter what, but he didn't get the same treatment when he needed it most. Instead, people decided that their Christmas shopping was more important, and it ended up costing the man his life.
However, there was a nurse and an off-duty paramedic among the late-night crowd there. They tried to give Walter CPR. He was taken to the hospital, but later died. News Channel 3's Andrew Colgrove joins us now, and his friends say he was a guy who really would help anyone in need.
Yeah, Jessica, so they're very upset to hear that so many people weren't willing to help him. Those friends are also saying it's clear evidence some have lost sight of the real meaning of the holidays. Those who worked for Walter Vance say around Christmas time, he was the exact opposite of a Scrooge.
He had a giving spirit about him, and Christmas brought that out even more.
He treated us all as family. We were not just employees, we were family.
Vance started working at the Aracoma Drug Company when he was 16. He liked it so much, he went to pharmacy school at WVU and has worked there ever since. He's co-owned this drugstore in Chapmanville since the 70s.
It's just hard to believe that he's gone. It's very hard.
Vance loved filling his store with Christmas decorations.
Number 1, shooting in Kohl's parking lot. Everyone from store staff to police are on high alert on Black Friday, so I guess it doesn't make a lot of sense to me to pick that day to try and shoplift. With that said, it does make stores so busy that it's impossible to keep track of everyone. And obviously, this guy thought that he could disappear into the crowd, and basically he tried stealing from a Kohl's department store and then running to a getaway car outside, but he didn't make it in time before police realized and tried to stop him. Thankfully, they did stop the car from leaving, but the thief also responded with a shootout, and even though no one was shot, several people were injured. Not only that, but the car ended up riddled with bullet holes, and shoppers were confused and scared because most of them couldn't see what was happening outside. Even some of the police officers were hurt in the chaos, although they did manage to keep the vast majority of people safe, as well as getting back the goods.
Morning News.
Good Friday morning to you. We do begin with breaking news. Shots ring out outside of a department store filled with holiday shoppers.
It happened in the parking lot of a Kohl's in suburban Chicago. Several people are hurt, including police officers. No officers were shot. None of the injuries said to be life-threatening. Witnesses say a suspect tried to shoplift from the store and ran to a getaway car. A vehicle on the scene is riddled with bullet holes. Less violent but chaotic. Scenes unfolding in several locations.
Police fired shots at a man trying to rob a Kohl's. The suspect and 2 officers were taken to the hospital. In Southeast Texas, a Walmart customer grew aggravated when the store gave out TVs to the back end of the line.
The lady cut in front of her and they tried to get the TV from her, so she just started hitting her.
Another Walmart customer in New Jersey got into a scuffle with police. Walmart corporate released a statement overnight saying, "Our stores and employees did a good job calming things down quickly when incidents occurred last year, and we anticipate that to continue this year." These Black Friday shoppers were more tame and thrilled with the eye-popping deals.
We're here to get the PlayStation for $99.
I'm here early just so I can get in and out and go to the next store.
This year, holiday sales are expected to hit nearly $600 billion, and stores tried to cash in by opening on Thanksgiving.
Thought we'd get out and beat the rush.
Hopefully they'll get their Skylander and get all their dolls and toys and over with.
The deals this year are better than ever.
And there's our video on the top 5 Black Friday crimes. If you've enjoyed the video, please feel free to leave a like down below and subscribe to see whenever we upload. Also, if you have your own top 5 or top 10 idea, feel free to use our extremely handy form in the description to submit it. With that said, thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.